Hello, I'm Su Chao.
Hello, I'm Yikang.
Hello, I am Zicong.
Hi, I'm Wei Tao.
Hi, I'm Yifan. Today we are gonna analyze the case of Newton Hardware Company. Among our daily life, when we make a purchase in a store or market, we may think that the consumption behavior is just a trade-off procedure finished in few seconds. However, our simple actions of buying something actually start a series of results and adjustments in the operation system of the company and the banks. The company in this case is a typical example of merchandise suppliers in our lives. They have no engagement in the production cycle, but they do make profits from the selling process. Compared to the ordinary manufacturers, this kind of company is specific in a certain area of trading, facilitating the business, and they are almost free from some potential problems caused by production, such as the shortage in raw materials and the technique revolution and the labor conflicts. It seems that this kind of company has nothing to worry about, but inner problems still deserve the careful considerations in the control aspects of the management. Our group project mainly focuses on the revenue cycle of Newton Hardware Company, which basically covers all the functional departments in this firm, from the sales clerk, who initiates the deal, to the collection clerk, who ends this deal. This flowchart is a simplified description for the revenue cycle in this company. The 5 major parties engaging in the revenue cycle are listed in the head columns: sales clerk, credit manager, warehouse and shipping clerk, accountants, and cash collection clerk. Each of these personnel are responsible for the individual part among the whole cycle. The sales employees received an order from the customer. Their duty is to process the order information and transfer the order to the employees in the next tier. The flow chart also indicates that this revenue cycle is based on the credit sale. That's why we have the credit manager to evaluate the credit profile of the customer and make decision to approve the sale or not. Warehouse and shipping clerk, they engage in the shipping and packing process directly, and they mainly deal with the physical goods and inventory among the whole process. Then the accountant make a record of the sale and input the data into the accounting system to update the relative ledger. If this credit sale is default-free, the cash collection clerk would receive the payment from the customer and make deposit in the company's account. The overall process seems quite clear and correct, while some problems still can be found if we evaluate this flowchart according to the rules and guidelines in our textbook.
I'm Wei Tao. I will introduce the first 3 weaknesses of Newton Hardware and our suggestions for those weaknesses. After the sales clerks receiving the sale order, they directly prepare the sale order, and then the warehouse clerks will pick and pack the order. The shipping clerks will ship the order to the customers. The credit approval process of Newton Hardware cannot serve the function of reduce uncollectible accounts. The customers who are over the credit limit can also place the order. This kind of high-risk operation will increase the company's bad debt expense. Our suggestion is to put the credit approval procedure after receiving the sale order. Only prepare order of customers who have enough credit. And also, the sales clerks should not take charge to the approval of customers' credit, because they are also responsible for the preparation of source documents of the transactions. Sales clerks' commissions are related to the sale volume, so they have incentive to approve sale orders from customers who are over the credit limit. This can also bring lots of uncollectible accounts. The solution for this weakness is that the credit manager should approve all the credit. After the sale orders have been prepaid, they are sent to the warehousing for warehousing clerks to pick and pack the order. However, in the warehouse, one clerk can access the inventory physically and post the inventory record. The responsibility of custody and record keeping are not separated. This would lead to inaccurate inventory record if the warehousing clerks fail to prepare, ship, advise, and even worse, the warehouse staff can steal the inventory without being detected. This weakness in the internal control will cause theft of inventory and mismatch of inventory record and the physical inventory. The sale clerks should do the inventory posting once the sales are approved. This can effectively prevent and detect inventory theft.
I'm Ika. This time I will introduce the next 3 weaknesses in the Newton Hardware company's cases, and I will propose my suggestions to these mistakes. First, the top list of problems billing mistakes. In Newton Hardware company, the invoices which the sales clerk prepared has no notification about description. This means that it was shipped and when was shipped are not identified in the invoice. From my perspective, I think the invoice should be prepared only after received a copy of the shipping advice, which indicate the description and the goods quantities and the shipping date. Second problem is that Newton Hardware company may fail to billing customers. That means the internal control system does not have the mechanics to verify that all sales orders and shipping advice are being invoiced in a certain period. I believe this problem could be solved easily. For example, it is useful to pre-number all the sales orders and ship document and reconcile the sales order, shipping advice and invoice of the transaction. Make sure every transaction has been invoiced. Next problem is that Newton Hardware company does not have independent check on the accuracy of recording process. One staff in the billing department both responsible for the maintenance of the journal and posting them into ledgers. In my point of view, I would suggest that the responsibility of keeping journal and posting ledger should be assigned to a different people.
I am Zicong. Then I will give you a brief idea of the last 3 weaknesses in the cash collection activities of the company. And also, I will talk about the corresponding solutions for this weakness. In the cash collection process, the company violated the rule of segregation of duties. This ruins the financial safety of the company. The first weakness is that the cash collection clerk, who is responsible for bank deposit and reconciliation, also in charge of the custody of the checks. This employee who is responsible for the record keeping and the custody of checks may steal and pocket the checks, and this step cannot be detected by managers of the company. So our suggestion is that there should be another employees who do not take the bank reconciliation duties to keep the checks. In the accounting department, one staff takes the cash handling and the cash recording duties. This clerk can steal cash from one customer's payment and covers it up by stealing cash from the next customer's payment. This process keeps going and it will cause big financial problem if this has not been detected for a long period. The solution is that someone who does not have accounting duties should be assigned to open the checks, and this person also record the cash receipt. This can prevent the theft of cash. The last weakness is that one cash collection clerk who has initial access to cash receipt also reconcile the bank statement. This person can steal the cash and cover this theft by using fake bank statements. This is also a big issue for the company. So the cash receipt processing and the bank reconciliation duties should be assigned to different employees.
I'm Su Tao. I will summarize all the information my partner had just presented, and then I will talk about the principles that we use to improve the internal control of Newton Hardware Company. We are dealing with the revenue cycle of Newton Hardware Company, including sales order entry, shipping, billing, and cash collection activities. Through the flowchart, we identified several weaknesses in the internal control of Newton Hardware. In the sales department, the wrong sequence of credit approval will not reduce uncollectible accounts. The authorization and recording responsibility has not been separated. In the warehouse and shipping department, there is no segregation of custody and recording function inventory. The billing department did not notify the description of the goods and the date of shipping, and they did not check that all the sales order and shipping advice have been invoiced. In the cash collection process, the chaotic allocation of duties would cause fraud easily. With these weaknesses, we have given out our corresponding suggestion to improve the internal control system. And then I will introduce the basic principle for internal control. The most important one is segregation of duties. It requires that different individuals should be responsible for different elements, especially the authorization, custody, and recording responsibility. Second, proper authorization of transactions and activities. This ensures that all the activities follow the rules and regulations. The third one, adequate documents and records, including adequate supporting document and timely preparation of documents. Then physical control over assets and record. For example, set firewalls for accounting information system, back up the transaction data. Last one, independent checks of performance. This would help to ensure the reliability of accounting information and efficiency of operations. These principles are the guidelines for our suggestion for Newton Hardware Company. In the business activities, those principles should be followed to make sure an effective and efficient internal control system. Thank you for watching.